Hello, race fans, and welcome everyone here to Kansas Motor Speedway on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, almost getting ready to be dark. We race under the lights in Kansas. I want to welcome everyone this afternoon to American Racing Network. I'm your host, Bill Dale. We'll be bringing you the exciting action here for 125 laps with the men sponsored by the Men's Senior Racing League here in Kansas. The drivers have been given their introductions. They're sitting in their cars waiting for the command for the uh, just been given the command to start their engines and waiting for the pace car to pull them out and lead them across the field. So we give you a quick rundown, and through the magic of gaming, we'll show you who's what, where, when as we look some different camera angles here for some of these cars. As you can see them sitting on pit road, the engine's running, and getting ready to get it done this afternoon here at Kansas Motor Speedway. We'll give you the rundown. So we have the positions of the cars here on the track as they start out, getting the engines fired up and getting them ready to go here. And we'll give you some quick rundown of the track. 1.5 mile oval track here at Kansas City. Pit road speed is 50 mile an hour this afternoon, so the drivers will be careful not to go over that limit so they won't get a speeding penalty. A couple of other things that the exit for the pit road is very easy. The entrance for pit road is kind of tricky, so these guys are going to have to make sure that they get it just right so they can go into pit road without spinning out. So we'll give you a quick rundown as the engines are fired up. Here we're getting ready to go green here in about another lap. As you'll see, Lawrence Stopperworth in that 41 Mac 2 sponsored Chevrolet leading the field here. He's in our pole position this afternoon. And Paul Brown is on the outside pole of that Mountain Dew, number 70 sponsored Chevrolet tomorrow. Jack Martell in that Southwest Harbor Fire Department sponsored 03 Ford Mustang is starting in third position. Keith Chestnut in that number 3 Cam King sponsored Chevrolet Camaro is starting in fourth. Ron Blackwell in that number 25 Cam King sponsored Chevy Camaro starting fifth. Val Wutchers in that 101 101st Airborne Division Toyota is starting sixth. Ivan Deschamps in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers Dodge starting seventh. Kent Thomas in that St. Louis Cardinals sponsored Ford Mustang starting eighth. Dave Christensen, which is I think he's the owner of all these cars with Cam King sponsored Chevrolet, is here this afternoon at Kansas in that number 72 Cam King sponsored Chevy Camaro. Last, certainly not least, is that Valvoline sponsored number 51 Ford Mustang of Steve Biddle. Good to have Steve back after all this time of being absent. And getting ready to go green here. As the pace car comes off the field, getting ready to rock and roll. And we're gonna cut the identifier off so you can see the cars in action. As the green flag drops, and here we go, boys, 125 laps. Just pure flat out racing. So he's Lawrence Stopperworth jump out in front here, jumping on the high side. Paul Brown right behind him. And you can see that number 3 car battling that 03 car of Jack Martell for position here. As that number 3 car takes the high side. Going down into turn 3, Lawrence Stopperworth still leading. Paul Brown still in second. Keith Chestnut, that number 3 car, is jumping to third position here this afternoon. So he's dropped down to the bottom a little bit. Jack Martell behind Keith Chestnut as they come around in turns 3 and 4, or I'm sorry, 1 and 2. Get a little tongue-tied here this afternoon, so it's always excited to see some good racing here. Lawrence Stopperworth running out front as we scan the field here. And you'll see Steve Biddle come back in the 10th place. Steve's, I think this is his third race since he's been back. Things get a little tight up front here in the afternoon as they go around for lap 2. Coming in lap 3 here. Paul Brown's on the inside, Lawrence Stopperworth on the outside. Paul Brown challenging Lawrence for the lead here. That 3 car drops below Paul Brown here and starts ducks in behind Paul Brown and challenges for the position nose to tail here. 1, 2, 3, 4 position here is going to be a quick, good race. And that Paul Brown is running behind Lawrence Stopperworth here, and that 3 jumped on the outside of that 70 car, challenging for a position here. That 3 jumps on the outside, followed by the 03 of Jack Martell. Paul Brown drops down below, and Lawrence Stopperworth still leading here. Basically, about 6 cars here running in the pack, trying to trying to get some position here, gain some real estate. But you see that 3 car get by Paul Brown here, challenging 41 for the lead here. Looks like these guys have calmed down enough a little bit, started running for position. You see that 3 car is a little bit stronger in the corner there. He's able to run up on the side of Lawrence Stopworth there and get right up on his bumper here as they go down the backstretch. Paul Brown and Jack Martell running side by side, door-to-door action here in the backstretch. These guys come into 3 and 4. Coming out of 4 toward the backstretch. That 3's dropped down on the bottom, running the bottom side of that track, challenging Lawrence Stopworth for the lead here. Lawrence Stopworth still out front here as that 3 car deck behind him. Jack Martell dropped down to the low side of the track. Gets a good run on him outside, that 3 car does. Still able to maintain that second position there. Lawrence Stopworth sees that 3 car jumps up in front of him, tries to put a block on him. That 3 car right up on that 41 car as he dropped down to the bottom of the track and attempts to try to overtake him. He'll be able to fight back. Lawrence Stopworth kind of bumps the wall a little bit. Gets a good run on the high side of the track. That 3 car's on the bottom. Gonna challenge him one more time in 3 and 4. Ooh, we had to almost had a little bit of a bump there. But it's a good race right here, guys. The 03, the 3, and the 41, and the 70. Oh, both of them are kind of, the 3 and the 03 kind of tapped the wall a little bit. May have got a little loose up there in that high stuff. Until this track gets rubbered in, it's going to be a tricky situation on the high side of the corner here. Turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. But that 3 seems to say, okay. Jack Martell has jumped down and challenging the 3 car for the second position. That 3 car ain't having nothing to do with it. He's done that battle back and trying his best to run down that 41 car. As Lawrence Stopworth here still leads the pack. Lap 10. Coming up on lap 10 here as the guys go down the back stretch. Lawrence Stopworth, Keith Chestnut, Jack Martell, and Paul Brown, all 1, 2, 3, 4 here this afternoon. As they coming up on lap 10 here at Kansas Motor Speedway. We're noticing Paul Brown has fell back a little bit now. We don't know that Paul, this is not Paul's usual run. Paul's usually run up front, but there may be some kind of issue with Paul, or he may be just laying back, saving his tires. But that 3 and that 41 is going after it. I guarantee you that 3 and 41 is if they're racing hard, and that 3 and the 03 is that's some good racing between those 2 guys. Both of them racing one another clean, and that's what we like to see out here at the track of Kansas. And that 70 hanging in there with them, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 4 spots here. Being challenged here as you see these guys going into turn 2. Come around turn 3, that 3's dropped on the bottom side of the track. Looking at the back end of that 41, that 03 is working on the back, getting a little bit of that draft going on in the backside of Kansas here as he creeps up on the back of that number 3 car. And that 3 car drops down on the bottom, kind of has to back off a little bit, sliding up the track some. So, and that 3 and that 41 is hard after. I mean, these guys are doing some hard racing here this afternoon. The 03 car of Jack Martell working with what he's got here on the outside. Paul Brown in the back in the 4th position, trying to keep up these guys and doing a pretty good job of it. You see Dave Christensen in that 72 Ken King Chevrolet creeping up there in 5th position. But that 3 and that 41 is definitely, he's not giving up on him. So maybe a little bit of a running too hard. These guys have to be careful with these track gear conditions. They run hard and they'll wear their tires out. So it may be a situation where that 3 is trying to gate his speed to where he can sneak up on him. We see Paul Brown here running in 4th position here, working on the back of Jack Martell. Lawrence Stopworth still out in the lead. Keith Chestnut 2nd and Jack Martell 3rd. Paul Brown is working that 4th position. Now he's going to the bottom side of the track and trying to make his way up there toward the front. See these guys going up to the top side of the track and diving toward the bottom. Jack Martell in that Southwest Harbor Fire Department there running 3rd position. And we're doing some good racing here this afternoon. All of them nose to tail, 1, 2, 3, 4. As Jack now tries to start the outside and see if he can make any headway on the outside of the high side of the track here as he comes off and has a pretty good run on the 3 car. Paul Brown working on the bottom side of that the 03 Mustang. And now the 3 car, the 03 car and the 70 is battling kind of door to door. As you see both these guys, Paul Brown jumps on the inside, runs on the bottom of it, kind of backs off a little bit and takes behind the 03 car, tucks in behind him. That 3 car in that 41 is got a little bit of distance between them. Lauren's able to pull away from him. Oh, and you see that 3 car come up in front of that 03 car and hit the wall just a little bit, screwed the wall, so that may cause him some problems down the road here a little bit. Maybe a cut tire or whatever, but it doesn't seem to bother him right now. No much that 3 still trying to put it on to it. Jack Martell works on the back of that 3 car. That 3 car is going high. So the 03 car and the 70 car are running in the middle of the track, the high side of the track. It gives them Lauren Stoppleworth here a little breathing room as they come around on lap 16. And Lauren's able to get about 4 or 5 car lengths ahead of him. And that 3 car, as you see, trying to work up on him and running from the bottom side to the high side of that track. And evidently these 3 guys back here is not as quick as in the corner they would want to be. But that 3 car has backed off with a bit, so has the 03 car. These guys will settle down a little bit, and we'll go through the field right quick. You see Paul Brown running in 4th. Dave Christensen all by himself running in 5th. And that number 72 Cam King's Chevrolet Camaro. Steve Biddle running in the 6th position here. Him and Ron Blackwell at 25 Cam King Chevrolet, along with Kent Thomas and Val Woodricks, all four of those cars. But Ivan Deschamps running in the last position at number 19, Wolf Racing Dodge, bringing up the rear. Val Woodricks in that number 9 in the 9th position here this afternoon at Kansas. 101st Airborne sponsored Toyota. He works on the back of Ron Blackwell here, running in coming out of turn 2, going down the back stretch. Ron Blackwell at number 25 Cam King sponsored Chevy Camaro here, having a decent run this afternoon here. Kent Thomas in that number 40 St. Louis Cardinals sponsored Ford Mustang here, doing a little bit of wiggling here on the track, running from the high side to the low side, trying to find a place where he can stick his car and have a decent run. These got 4 front guys up there just running away from him. Kent's running in 7th position here. Steve Biddle. Steve Biddle running in 6th position in that Valvoline sponsored Ford Mustang, number 51. Doing a good job here this afternoon. They come up on lap 21, running in 6th position. Dave Christensen still running 5th. See these guys come around turns 1 and 2. You see now in the 4th position, Keith Chestnut dropped his car back from the 2nd to the 4th position here, and he's telling we found out that he may have has a tire rub on his right side of his car. I think the pit window here at the racetrack this afternoon is around 22 to 23 laps, so you should start seeing some green flag pit stops here pretty soon, pretty quick. As we see Lauren Stoppleworth still leading the race here at lap 22. Sorry about that, folks. A little Coca-Cola and caffeine. Lauren Stoppleworth from that number 41 Mac Tool sponsor Chevrolet leading the pack here this afternoon. Is that Lauren comes around lap 23. I do believe he has called his crew chief and said get ready because I may come in this lap or the next one, but I think he's going to try to come in this lap. We'll see what happens here. Lauren may stay out one more time. Yep, he may stay out one more time. So, see that number 3 Cam King sponsored Chevrolet at Keith Chestnut Still out on lap 24, so the pit window here should be pretty quick. You start seeing these guys coming in the track, taking fuel and tires. Dave Christensen, as you see these cars, guys spread out on the back stretch. Here you see Lawrence Stopworth coming into the pits here. Lawrence Stopworth is coming to the pits. Jack Martell and Paul Brown is still going, and you'll see the first and second place taking over position here is Paul Battle Jack Martell for first and second place. As Lawrence Stopworth is taking over. Lawrence Stopworth dropped back to fifth with the pits, getting fuel for his car, tires. Hugh Chestnut's dropped that behind. He's getting fuel and tires. So is Dave Christensen. All in the pits. Here comes some more guys. Val Wurchers and Ron Blackwell's getting tires and fuel. You see Lauren pulling out the pits. And there comes the 3 car and the 72 car. The 73 car beats the 72 car out the pits. Back out on the track. You see Z-Biddle leaving the pits. Ron Blackwell is out there leaving the pits. So is Val Wurcher. Getting tires and fuel. So you see a new leader here this afternoon as these guys coming out of the pits. Getting Thomas now. He's coming through the pits getting some gas. It's going to get Ivan Deschamps in second place. Going to give up his second place position. He's coming into the pits getting some gas and tires. Paul Brown is getting into the pits. He's got some gas and tires. He's come back out running third. Stopworth running in fourth. Keep Chestnut in fifth. David sixth. Jack Martell seventh. Steve Biddle eighth. Ron Blackwell ninth. And Val tenth. Ivan Deschamps, while he's in the pits, going to relinquish his lead to Paul Brown. Paul Brown's our new race leader. On lap 27 here this afternoon. Paul Brown, a native of Pennsylvania. Been racing a number of years. He has his own racing league at Ridge Runners Racing. They run Indy cars. So Paul is has to get up on that wheel pretty quick. Calling that number 70 Mountain Dew sponsored Chevy Camaro. Leading the race here in lap number 28. Lawrence Stopworth, a native of the Dakotas, has been racing with other leagues as well. Racing right to the mile. Races also with Ridge Runners Racing. Q Chestnut, that number 3 Chevrolet Camaro here runs the Stock Car Racing League over there on Friday nights, as well as racing with other leagues. He races here with MSRL, Men's Senior Racing League, and races occasionally with Ridge Runners Racing and Indy cars. Races with Tuesday Night Thunder, the Craftsman pickup trucks. Dave Christensen running that 4th position. Native of California, longtime member of the Cam Kings Car Club. See, working him and Jack Martell working the bottom. Come around the corners. Jack Martell takes over the 4th position. Jack Martell, a volunteer fireman from Southwest Harbor Fire Department up here in Southwest Harbor, Maine. Been a long-time fireman. Number 03 Ford Mustang as he works on the back of that Chevy Camaro Q Chestnut. Q Chestnut back under the 4th now. Dave Christensen working on the back option, seeing what's keeping an eye on these 2 guys that's racing in front. It's going to allow him to sneak up on them. Steve Biddle now running in 6th position. That number 51 Valvoline sponsored Ford Mustang. Ron Blackwell, a native of New Jersey, the owner of the Men's Senior Racing League, which sponsors this race here. Been racing for probably 10 to 15 years. And if you want to join the Men's Senior Racing League, just look up the website www.msrl.us, an application page, or you can send him the email at ron@comcast. Send him an email, tell him you're interested in racing with the MSRL Men's Senior Racing League, and you must be 35 years of age or older. I guess that counts you young bucks out. I guess people like Tyler Reddick and Buck Jones and Eric Jones just not going to be able to qualify, but they do have a limit. Ron Blackwell in that number 25 Cam King sponsored Chevrolet here. Part 3 of, well, actually part 2 of the 3-car team of Dave Christensen, Val Witchers, the 101st Airborne Division. Val Witchers, a Vietnam veteran. Been running with the MSRL for a number of years. Ivan Deschamps, former Canadian native, now lives in Valrico, Florida. Runs with, he has his own league over there at TNT, which is Tuesday Night Thunder with pickup trucks. And races Stock Car Racing League over Friday nights, and also here at MSRL. MSRL Men's Senior Racing League, brought to you by American Racing Network. Kent Thomas of East Pier, Oriole, Illinois, races with MSRL. Races with Friday Night Thunder, Stock Car Racing League. Paul Brown's our new race leader, still out in front here on lap 37 as we run down the field and see who is what, where, when, and how, and why. Working on lap 38. Paul Brown's our race leader here this afternoon on lap 37. Lawrence Topperworth second. Jack Martell third. Keith Chestnut fourth, and looks like Dave Christensen is hungry for that part of real estate. So Dave Christensen running fifth. 2 Cam King Chevrolets right behind one another. Steve Biddle sixth. Ron Blackwell seventh. Val Witchers eighth. Ivan Deschamps is ninth. Kent Thomas is 10th. You see them, how they are on the track spread out. Looks like Dave Christensen and Keith Chestnut's having a little battle here this afternoon. A little bit of distance between the other two. We'll jump around here and see who's where. Guys are populated out as Dave Christensen passes the 03 car for the 4th position, putting the 3 car back in the 5th position. So that's going to leave 2 of Dave Christensen's cars in the top 5. You're going to see these guys start to, I think about 4 or 5 more laps here, you're going to start seeing these guys make green flag pit stops. Of the tires here at this track where these guys running these speeds last about 20 to 25 laps, somewhere in that neighborhood. So basically the tires is having a lot of the chatter on the radios about these guys. Some of them's having good tire wear, some of them's not. So it's different with the setups here that they have, and they do have a fixed setup here at this track. Some of the drivers love it, some drivers don't. But they're having a good run here this afternoon. Dave Christensen back up in 4th position, running looking back at Jack Martell. they go back down the back stretch. Lawrence Stopworth still in second position with Paul Brown still leading the race here in lap 42. Someone was asking me Friday night when Paul ran over that car race league, is there any stopping to Paul Brown? No, not unless he takes his foot off the gas. These guys are all spread out on the field. See Ivan Champ going around the Dodge of his. Kent Thomas running in ninth position. They come out of 2. Him and Ivan Deschamps come out of 2. We see Paul Brown working on the back of him, so let's keep an eye on the do the spotter cam, see how far these guys are behind. Yep, spaced out pretty good. So unless a self-spin happens or something, we shouldn't have any cautions for right good a few minutes. Maybe everybody's spaced out pretty good now, trying to catch up to the field. As you see Paul Brown coming up on the back of Ivan Deschamps here on the back stretch. So he's making his way around the track here, running the middle to the high side of the track. About 10 car lengths behind Ivan Deschamps here. Lap 45. Just made it lap 46 here as Paul Brown's working on the back of Ivan Deschamps. Ivan Deschamps ready to go a lap down here this afternoon, lap 46. Here at Kansas Motor Speedway, sponsored by MSRL. As you see Ivan Deschamps jump up there on the high side. Paul Brown does put Ivan Deschamps 1 lap down. He'll be the first lap down, first car lap down here this afternoon on lap 46. So that puts Ivan Deschamps 1 lap down. Paul has completely lapped 1 car. He's chasing down the, I think the second place car will be, well, it won't be Lawrence Stopworth. It'll be Kent Thomas. As Kent Thomas works hard on the high side of the track to keep the speed up to where he won't go a lap down. You see Paul Brown working on the back of that Mustang. Old saying is, over the hills and through the woods to Grandma's house we go. Well, it looks like over the hill and through the trees. Paul Brown is definitely in the breeze here this afternoon. Paul's car has got to work, working on his car pretty good. Everything's working right on his car. There's no complaints whatsoever. Some of the other drivers complaining about the right front getting worn down quicker, but Paul's not seeing anything on the radio other than the fact that he's telling his pit crews whatever he needs tires, he'll come in and get tires. But right now, everything on Paul Brown's car is working good as we see Kent Thomas doing everything he can to stay ahead of Paul Brown. See Val Witcher's in that 101 Toyota Camry coming into the pits. This should be beginning of the green flag pit stops. We see Steve Biddle coming into the pits as well. Dave Cook is already in the pits. There's the 3 car of Cube Chestnut. He's coming into the pits on lap 49. So about 24 to 25 laps, somewhere in that neighborhood, these guys can run green flag pit stops. Kent Thomas is taking over second position. Paul Brown gives up the lead, comes into pits. Keeping an eye on Paul Brown. You can see 3 car Hugh Chestnut coming out of the pits. Ron Blackwell in the number 25 Ken King Chevrolet getting service on his tires. Paul Brown getting the same thing, and Ron Blackwell beating the 70 car out of the pits. So we have a new leader, Kent Thomas. Kent Thomas on the back stretch here this afternoon, running right by himself here on lap 51. Looks like he may be coming into the pits taking some tires to fuel. That's exactly what he's going to do. That's going to hand over the lead to Ivan Deschamps here on lap 52. It's Ivan Deschamps in that 19 Tampa Bay Buccaneers Wolf Racing sponsored Dodge takes over the first position here. Ivan gets into the wall just a little bit. Now I got a little loose coming up there in that little bit of debris up there on that high side of the track. But Ivan Deschamps, lap 52, your new race leader. Here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway. They'll say Kansas City Motor Speedway. It looks like Ivan has a little problem trying to get him through the pits. Wow, that was close. He had to slow down, get on the brake pretty hard, and almost missed the pits. So be careful, Ivan. That's going to put Paul Brown, after they cycle some of the pit stops out, Paul Brown once again is taking over the lead here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Lap 55. Lap 54 here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway, sponsored by MSRL. Paul Brown's they're going to back over the lead here. These guys will run probably up to somewhere in the neighborhood of about 77, lap 77, lap 78 before they have to come into fuel again. So far, it's been a good race. Everybody's been running pretty good this afternoon. A few of them with problems with the cars, but overall, it's been a good race. Good, clean, fun race this afternoon. Everybody's running a good race this afternoon. Ivan Deschamps coming back into the pits. Crew chief says he's got evidently a speed penalty. Coming out of the pits. He's having to go back in and serve his 10-second penalty. A drive through, I think. So we'll do a drive through. And he goes back out of the pits and making his way around the track as he accelerates his speed up to about 120 before he gets back up on the track. So jumps back out there and takes over, comes into 10th position here. That's going to throw him down a lap down. Kent Thomas in 9th, Val Woodford's in 8th, Ron Blackwell in 7th position. Steve Biddle in 6th this afternoon. Keith Chestnut dropped back to 5th. Here's a little bit of issues with his car. Jack Martell's in 4th. Lawrence Stopward back into 3rd. Dave Richardson from California is taking over 2nd position. And Paul Brown's still our race leader as he comes in the back of Val Woodford's. Looking to put some of these guys a lap down here this afternoon. So Paul may be lapping a few cars, trying his best to drive the wheels off that thing. We don't know if he's on a mission or his seat's hot or his butt's on fire or he's got to go to the bathroom. We don't know what the deal is, but he is making his way around the track here, lap 59 here this afternoon at Kansas Speedway. Just looking at the back of that 101 Toyota Val Woodford. They call see on the back of Val's car, it's got the word Woody. We need to ask him about that. We don't know if that was his nickname over in country or that was his nickname growing up or whatever. We need to talk to him about that. Who knows, maybe we'll get a chance to. Paul Brown, the race leader here on lap 60. Just about halfway through the race. Ivan Deschamps here on that number 19 Tampa Bay Buccaneers Wolf Racing sponsored Dodge Charger, making his way around the back stretch. Oh, and we have an accident. Oh my goodness, we have an accident right here on lap 60 as we, through the magic of gaming, we can back it up and see what happens. So we see these three right here. Looks like Kent Thomas in that number 40, Jack Martell in the 3 car, Lawrence Stopworth in 41 in front of him. Looks like Kent gets a little sideways, comes down to the bottom of the track trying to hold straight, and then all of a sudden jumps right up there and right in front of Jack Martell and collects Jack. And that's going to cause a caution to come out on the field. Puts Kent Thomas facing the wrong way in the racetrack. You see cars coming by him on the bottom. And caution is out on the track. So late race caution right here at Kansas Motor Speedway here. Kent Thomas brings out the caution here on lap 62 here at Kansas Motor Speedway as the cars slow down and work in behind the pace car. And this will be a lap for all these guys who are having problems to come in and get some changes made, whatever, with cars. And we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Kansas Motor Speedway as we're under caution here at lap 63. These guys are going into the pits, bring caution, making pit stops under caution here this afternoon. We see a number of cars going into the pits and making adjustments and get some tires and fuel. Total about 8 cars on pit road right now. Ron Blackwell in that number 25 Cam King Chevrolet pits. 4 tires of Sunoco fuel and away he goes. Dave Christensen on that 72 Cam King sponsored Chevy Camaro. Dave, a native of California, long-time member of the Cam King's Car Club. Trying to be the next Joe Gibbs. Got 3 cars on the track tonight, doing pretty good. Lawrence Stopperworth in that number 41 Chevrolet. Mac Tool sponsored in the 2nd position. Paul Brown in 1st. We see Kent Thomas go off into the fence. Of course, more repair he suffered in that earlier incident with Jack Martell. So obviously Jack didn't have a whole lot of damage left. His car to get fixed. So back on the track. Out of the sump here, running the tail end of the lead lap on the pace car. Paul Brown's our race leader here this afternoon on lap 65 under caution. $60 laps to go here this race this afternoon. With only 60 laps left in the race. You see Val Witchers peel off and go to the pits. Racing under the lights here in Kansas tonight, folks. It's a big exciting race. We got our cameraman do some scanning around here and see what he can see. See these guys getting it done this afternoon. Oh, computer. Having the shops coming around and getting a free pass. There's the lucky dog, as they say. So that will put Ivan back on the lead lap, I think. You have 3 of the Cam King's Chevy Camaros here, 3rd, 5th, and 6th position. The rest of these drivers on the field are like, what is going on with 3 cars in the same spot? It can happen. It can happen. 72, the 3, and the 25. Although I think the 3 car may have just a temporary sponsor, a kind of agreement between the 2. See how it works out on this. The pace car is off, getting ready to go green here, folks. Paul Brown's on the inside, Lauren's on the outside. Green flag drops. Here we go, back to green flag racing here on lap 66. Got the cross start finish line, lap 67 here. Paul Brown's on the bottom side, Lauren's on the top. And that 3 and that 72 is nose to tail on the inside. They all go 3 wide here on the back stretch. Cars all over the place. They need to calm down a little bit and get themselves in gear. That's what they're doing. You see Lawrence Stopperworth on the bottom, Paul in the middle of the track, Jack on the top. Keith Chestnut's on the bottom. You see that 3 and that 72. That's some good racing between them 2 guys. Jack Martell holding his own here in 3rd place this afternoon. Is Lawrence Copperworth challenges on the bottom side of the track here. Dave Christensen. And looks like we're going to have another incident right here. Yep, when we do. Through the magic of gaming, we will back it up here and see what happened. It looks like what we see here. We'll do a slow-mo here. The 3 car is up behind the 72, running to the top side of the track near the wall. And we see the 40 car drifts up, not able to hold his line. Maybe a tire wire or something, and makes contact with the 3 car. And that's going to put the 40 in a self-spin. Well, not self-spin, but in spin rather. And so the 40 car does go around. And that's going to bring out the caution here on lap 68 this afternoon here. You see Kent Thomas spinning around and getting some damage on that Ford Mustang. See, do a complete 360 and almost straightened himself back out. If that wall hadn't been there, he'd been right straight. That angle of the track when he's trying to hit the gas may not have been in the right gear and caused him to drift back down on the track. So Kent Thomas here this afternoon. Another caution here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway. And lap 69 is Paul Brown's our race leader. Jack Martell in second, Lawrence Stopperworth third, Dave Christensen fourth, Keith Chestnut fifth, Steve Biddle sixth, Ron Blackwell seventh, Val Witchers eighth, Ivan Deschamps ninth, and Kent Thomas in 10th. Under caution here this afternoon, lap 68, these guys will probably go in and get some tires and fuel and replenish what they've got as the pace car picks them up coming out of turn 2. And we see Ivan Deschamps getting another lucky dog this afternoon, the free pass, so that'll put Ivan back in the lead here as these guys get ready to go get some service for their cars. And sponsored by MSRL. We will be back after these messages. And welcome back, folks, here to MSRL, ARN Racing Network. We're at Kansas Motor Speedway. As they've been a caution on the field, these guys are coming in to get some fuel here on lap 72. As we watch these guys get fuel for their vehicles, we'll keep an eye on the 3 car this time as he comes into the pits, gets right side tires. And what he's doing in Val Orchard's pit box, we have no idea. Left side tires, full tank of gas. And he's out of his pit box, getting a little sideways. But that's expected to be happening. Goes in 5th, comes out 9th. That's the way it works. Sometimes you go in a position, you can come out ahead of yourself, sometimes you won't. As Dave Christensen says, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. But under caution here, lap 72 here, as the cars go down the back stretch. Come around, fixing to get into turn 3 here this afternoon, Kansas Motor Speedway. And Senior Race League, sponsored by MSRL. Val Orchard's in a new race leader here under caution. Kent Thomas 10th, 1 lap down. You'll see the 101 car, the 40 car, and the 19 car all dive into the pits, cycle out their pit stalls. Val Orchard's in that 101 Toyota Camry. Get some right and left tires, full tank of fuel here on lap 73. With just a little over 50 laps to go here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Val in P8 here this afternoon, Kansas. Sean P9, Kent Thomas P10. Got a new race leader, Lawrence Topworth, in that 41 Mac Tool sponsored Chevy SS. There's Paul Brown right behind him, P2. Ron Blackway has moved up to 3rd. Jack Martell 4th. Steve Biddle 5th. Dave Christensen 6th. Keith Chestnut 7th. And Val Woodward 8th. DeShawn 9th. And Kent Tomlinson 10th. They go around the field one more time here under caution. We'll see Kent Thomas peeling off the track and going back into the pits. Guys work their way around. Mr. Caution lights is still out. They work their way around the front side of the tri-oval, and they go into turn 1. Kent Thomas coming out of the pits here and getting some gas for his car. The pace car that is running this field here, the original pace car, must have suffered some mechanical issues because they're using a backup or spare car or spare backup or backup spare or just another car, every way you want to call it, doesn't matter. But doing a good job on the field this afternoon. Kind of hard to tell when they're going back green because of the lights on the car. I think it's just a borrowed car from a local dealer. Don't have the name yet. We'll work on that. These guys go around as the caution's still on. I want to thank some of our sponsors this afternoon here that has put us on this race. Megan Emergency Technical Services, the Rib Shack, Chevrolet, Centas, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Some of our race sponsors this afternoon here. We take a look around the track here. There they go, guys. Race is back underway. So that's our technician TV for you. Sometimes they get excited, sometimes they don't. We see Lawrence Copperworth in second position. Paul Brown and Lauren working door to door here, trying to get that lead taken away from Lawrence Copperworth here. Lauren on the outside. Him and Jack Martell fighting back. And as you see these guys working hard here this afternoon, trying to get that ball dropped down below the apron. See if he can get a little bit of advantage on him. No, he don't. I'll put him back a little bit. Lauren really on that gas here this afternoon. But Jack Martell works outside. Paul works on the inside. Second, third position. He's going to put Ron Blackwell working on behind him and looking at the back of him while Lawrence Copperworth is leading the race here. The 70 to 03 are working the race door to door here, and that's going to put the 25 car sneaking up on him. That's just what Lawrence Copperworth wants to see. These two guys behind him racing one another. That's going to allow him to sneak away from the back just a little bit, get a little bit of lead on him. Although that number 70 car, Paul Brown, strong on the bottom, coming up to the bottom. That's going to put him running side by side with Jack Martell as they run door to door here. And it's a good, exciting race here this afternoon. You can see Paul Brown still on the bottom now. He's working. Coming up on the backside of Lawrence Copperworth, and Paul drops down below the apron, see if he can get another clean shot at him. But somehow or another, he's going to work it for him. Paul is going to be out front. Is Paul going to be able to do it? But Lawrence Copperworth fights back on the outside, and really working on that Chevrolet here as he gets a little squirrely coming into turn 2. But that's going to put Paul Brown behind him. So Paul has tried his best, and you'll see Jack Martell working on the backside of Paul Brown here as they come into turn 4, and Paul working on the low side again. Paul decides he's going to stay on the track this time instead of dropping down. Still 1, 2, 3. Very tight battle here for position here this afternoon. Lawrence Copperworth doing everything he can on that steering wheel. He ends up holding the steering wheel, holding on to it. As Lauren takes the middle of the track and drops to the high side, drops down below now toward the middle of the track with Jack Martell taking over the second position here. Paul Brown dropping back to third. And that's a good battle right there for a few laps here on the lap. We come up on lap 80. Jack Martell and that 03 Ford Mustang working on the back of Lawrence Copperworth here this afternoon. The guys are down in hard position. Oh, and we see a little calamity back there. Between the 40 and somebody, I don't know who it was, but a little bit of bump and run there. You see the 25 and the 40, the 3 on the bottom, 25 on the high side, 3 on the bottom, the 40 skinned the wall just a little bit, getting a little loose. The 3 and the 40 almost make contact. So that's going to put the 25 and the 40 working nose to tail. The 40 is right up on the tail end of the 25 car. The 40 drops to the bottom, tries to get a run. And they're getting kind of close there. We'll get to 25. The 3 is looking out of his windshield and seeing all they can do. The 40 and the 3 and 25 touch. And that's going to, oh man, that's going to come up. The 40 comes up. And we have another caution here at lap 82. Let's do a little gaming magic. Come back in here and see what actually happened to the 40 car here. That will be there we go. The 40 car and the 25 car, a little bump and run there. The 40 car bumps the 25, hits the bottom of the track, slides and come right up in front of it, and he collects the 3 car and a 101 car, and that sends the 3 car into the wall with the 40 car spinning out. So here on lap 81 this afternoon here at Kansas Motor Speedway, caution is out with the 40 car. Involved in another incident, and the somehow or another something must be broke on the 40 car. He come around the corner and spun out by himself. He just can't get control of that car for some reason or another. Something may be broke, or it may be something that's causing that 40 car to act the way it does. But that's going to put Kent Thomas in that 40 car in last position here. So under caution here, lap 82. So we see Lawrence Stopworth leading the pack here this afternoon and race leader, with Jack Martell second, Paul Brown third, Dave Christensen fourth, Steve Biddle fifth, Ron Blackwell sixth, Val Woodford seventh, Ivan Bishop eighth. Keith Chestnut ninth was involved in that collision with the 40 car, and Kent Thomas 10th. So pit road is closed right now. These guys will have to go around and make another run. As you see, Kent Thomas, he must be really having a problem with his stuff. Coming around the turn 4 there, trying to hang on to it, and it goes loses it right there, and coming out of turn 4 and does a spin. So that 40 car definitely got issues here this afternoon. Kansas Motor Speedway trying his best to get control of it, get it back to the pits if he can. Here under caution in lap 84 at Kansas Motor Speedway. About 46 laps left to go in this race. Some of the drivers is some of the drivers are saying some really nice things about one another. All these guys cordial to one another. I think and for some reason or another, we can't broadcast this, but Paul Brown is in his car singing a song. Something about Christmas balls. We don't. Oh, okay. I was just told by one of my pit road announcers that Paul Brown is very happy with his performance of his car, and he's looking forward to Christmas. So we'll leave it at that. But lap 84, the guys are coming down pit road here this afternoon, and you'll see all of them coming into pits, getting some service on their cars. I'm pretty sure the 3 car needs some damage repair on his car. So let's go in and see what kind of how long that 3 car will have to stay in the pits for his damage. So he's very careful going into the pits, not to hit anybody. First they're going to put tires and fuel in the car. Now they're beating and banging on some fenders. These guys are working. You can't see them, but they're working feverishly on the car, trying to get some of these fenders beaten out where they won't rub the tires, and put some tape on the car and get them ready to get back outside. It was involved in that earlier incident with the 40 car. So he's having 3 cars having a tough time this afternoon staying with the pack for some reason or other. Usually one of the top performers here, but he's had his, like everybody other driver, they've had their share of ins and outs. And we see the 3 car now being a little over a minute in the pits, under the 5-minute rule. He's got his car repaired back out on the track. We're going to put him back in the 9th position as he makes his way around turns 2 on the back stretch to catch up to the rest of the field. Caution's still out. I see Kent Thomas in that number 40 Ford Mustang going into pits. The rest of the field coming around the start-finish line, crossing over it to start lap number 86. You'll see the 3 cars sneaking up on the back of it, coming up on the tail end of the lead lap. And going to put him a lap down. You see a good camera view of the track. I think my cameraman's been drinking beer this afternoon or something. I don't know. I saw a bumper sticker on his pickup truck today when he come to work. It said 420 friendly. Do you reckon that thing got anything to do with it? I don't know. But anyhow. Lawrence Stopworth, our race leader here on lap 86 here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Race sponsored by MSRL, Men's Senior Racing League. Lawrence Stopworth in the lead position here this afternoon. Dave Christensen second, Jack Martell third, Paul Brown fourth, Ron Blackwell fifth, Steve Little sixth, Kyle Woodruff seventh, Ivan Deschamps eighth, Keith Chestnut ninth, and last but not least is Kent Thomas. I tell you somebody who's had a good run this afternoon, Jack Martell. Jack Martell's had a pretty strong car all race long. He's been in there in the top 5 all afternoon, so he's right there as anybody's race. Still with about 45, 44 laps left to go, so it's still too early to tell. But you better keep your eye on that 03 car. That Jack Martell, he's really got it going on this afternoon. That Mustang is right on point. No complaints from Jack or none of his pit crew, so evidently they've got that car dialed in just about where they want it. You're not going to get all these cars perfect, but once in a while you get it just right, and so that's what we're thinking Jack Martell's got this afternoon. He's got a real good car, really fast car, and so far he's had a good run here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway up under the lights here in Kansas. So they're doing real good, and Dave Christensen has had a good run too. Dave's been all over the track. He's been from the rear to the front to the back, but so far Dave C has held his own here this afternoon. So a good run for Dave, a good run for Paul Brown here this afternoon. Ron Blackwell has worked himself up back to the 6th or 7th position, I believe it is. And yep, the 3 car has he's done well here this afternoon. Got involved in a little incident earlier with the 40 car, but that's racing. Ron Blackwell running in that 5th position here this afternoon. I want to welcome Steve Biddle back to MSRL. Steve took a leave of absence, and he's come back in and running well here this afternoon. He's got showing some good performance. As the pace car goes off the field, guys, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. And there goes the flag. They're back green flag racing. This Lawrence Stopworth gets a real good jump on Dave Christensen. That just jumps out front. About 7 or 8 car lengths. Now about 8 car lengths, and just getting it done this afternoon. Putting something on the rest of that field out there with that number 41 Mac Tool sponsored Chevrolet here this afternoon as they come into turn 3. And you see Paul Brown in that number 70 Mountain Dew Chevrolet working on the back of him. Dave Christensen coming up there and doing his thing. And you see Ron Blackwell running behind Dave Christensen there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Jack Martell drops to 5th. So, but now Paul Brown is on the outside of Lawrence Stopworth, challenging for the lead here as they drop down into turn 3. Paul sneaks by him just a little bit. Paul takes over the lead here this afternoon. So Paul is our new race leader. Paul Brown, that 70 Mountain Dew sponsor Chevrolet Camaro, taking over the lead here this afternoon, lap 89. And 35 laps to go here, getting it done this afternoon here at Kansas Speedway. Paul is stretching out just a little bit. And you see Lawrence Stopworth and Dave Christensen having a battle here this afternoon. Lauren running mid-track, Dave running high side. Ron Blackwell and Jack Martell having a little battle here this afternoon as Ron Blackwell tries to drop in front of and you see Jack Martell getting to the wall just a little bit. Got up in that high side in that corner and got in that trashy stuff a little bit. Might have got him a little loose and got him in that corner. So there is some a lot of loose rubber, dirt and stuff like that on the high side of these tracks where these guys run mid to low side of the tracks and puts all that trash up there. And so it does kind of get sticky. So you're going to have to be very careful when you go around the high side of the track like that. A lot of these guys running 3/4 of the way up, mid and the bottom, but very seldom do you see one running the high side of the track. You see a lot of these guys running the mid-tracks, midway of the track like they're doing now, like you see Ron Blackwell doing. Jack Martell back in 5th. Val Woodruff's in 6th, and Q Chestnut jumped back from 9th to 7th. He's taking over 2 positions here as he's trying to look at the back of Val Woodruff's here. And do we have another caution on the field? Yeah, it looks like yes we do. And we see all kinds of mess right here. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can figure out through the magic of gaming what happened here. The reason to bring the caution out here this afternoon. We're going to see if we can upgrade it just a little bit. And we see Kent Thomas once again involved in an incident. He comes up and hits the car, slides up the track and hits the 51 car and collects the 19. Goes around and 19 just had nowhere to go and couldn't pull his car down quick enough, and so that's going to cause that incident. And under that incident, and we see another incident right here. Now, don't understand this. This is one where Jack Martell was involved in. As you see them all going around the track, Jack just comes up on the bottom side of Ron Blackwell and comes up on the backside of Ron Blackwell really quick and can't slow down enough, and that's going to cause Jack to take evasive action. And when he does, he gets his car sideways. He goes down on the apron and tries to hold it from getting it into the grass, and the car overcorrects itself and just comes right back up on the track in the front end of Ron Blackwell and collects both of them. And if they both go spinning, well, there's Val Woodruff and Keith Chestnut coming. And Steve Biddle and Val is trying his best to drop down, and by the time he sees that, Keith Chestnut comes up there and he sees that he's hitting the brakes. And you see the smoke from Keith's car. And he hits it, and then the 51 collects the 03 and gets in the back of the 25. The 3 does, as he goes by and drops down. So a caution within a caution here on lap 93 at Kansas Motor Speedway. Oh my goodness, what a day! Sometimes you just feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. But sometimes you get by, sometimes you don't. But in this incident, I'm pretty sure Jack Martell, that was just a honest mistake on Jack's part. We know Jack for the driving style he gets, and he hardly ever gets involved in anything like this. He may have got distracted or something, we don't know. But anyhow, the incident that started all this was the 40 car. And then a caution within a caution. I don't think we've ever had that I can remember. But there's always a first time for everything. So anyhow, lap 93 here, we're under caution. Mr. Field goes around, goes out of turn 4 down the front stretch. And Jack Martell in the 8th position. And Ivan Deschamps, Kent Thomas in 10th. Paul Brown's our race leader. He continues to lead the race here this afternoon with Orange Stopperworth 2nd. Dave Christian 3rd, and that's going to put Keith Chestnut in the 4th position. and Ron Blackwell in 5th position. So that's going to be good to Dave Christensen to see all 3 of his cars in the uh, 3, 4, and 5 position. So all 3 of his cars right now are running in lap 94, running the top 5. The 72 Cam King sponsored Chevrolet of Dave Christensen. Right there in the red car. The number 3 Cam King sponsored Chevy Camaro Q Chestnut, 4th position. And the number 25 Cam King sponsored Chevy Camaro, number 5th position. So, lap 94 here under caution this afternoon. Did these guys decide that they're going to go into pits? And I think they are. They're all of them peeling off going to the pits. And man, what a string of cars going into the pits. Everybody's going in, and especially the 3 car. Got involved in that little bump up there with 101 car with Val Woodruff's. I think the 3 cars told his spotter to tell the 101 spotter he apologized. He didn't mean to do that and couldn't help it. And I think the 101 car and the 3 car has a very good working relationship. As Kent Thomas stays out on the track. I see Paul Brown leaving the track, leaving the pit roads here, but getting back on the track. I'm sorry, and still retains the race lead. Lawrence Stopworth comes out. He's 2nd. There's Dave Christensen 3rd. There goes Keith Chestnut 4th, and Ron Blackwell 5th. So all 3 of Dave Christensen's cars here. He goes into pits and comes back on the track 3, 4, and 5 in the top 5 this afternoon with Val Woodruff 6th, Jack Martell 7th, Ivan Deschamps 8th, Steve Biddle 9th, and Kent Thomas 10th. As Kent probably go into pits and cycle back around. Kent is in tail end of the lead lap behind the pace car. You see him peel off and head to the pits. Paul Brown from Pennsylvania, our race leader here this afternoon, coming up on lap 96 here at Kansas Motor Speedway. As we wind down the race here this afternoon, with a little less than 30 laps to go. Can he hang on to it? Can Lawrence Stopworth run him down and pass him for the win? And then you've got the Cam Kings Club back there with the 72, the 3, and the 25, all hungry for a win this afternoon. I think the 3 car is the only one that hasn't won a race with the MSRL since it started back in January and February. He's missed some races, but we don't know about the point system, so we'll have to check that out. But it's all Paul Brown here this afternoon. And then we see the 3 car dropping down to the bottom. NASCAR telling him that he's got to go to the back of the field. For some reason or another, we don't know why. We'll have our guys check and get back with you on it. It's going to put Keith Chestnut back in 8th position with Kent Thomas in front of him. And Ivan Deschamps in 9th. Kent Thomas is running 10th. And I have to sort the field with 2 to go. See these guys coming into turn 1. Paul Brown has chosen the outside on the restart. Lawrence Topworth is on the inside on the restart. Go around this time, I think they'll restart this time. But less than 30 laps here to go. Kansas Motor Speedway here this afternoon, Kansas. Paul Brown, your race leader on the outside. Lawrence Topworth on the inside. Ron Blackwell third. Dave Christensen fourth. Jack Martell fifth, and Val Wishart sixth. Steve Biddle seventh. Keith Chestnut eighth. Ivan Champ ninth, and Kent Thomas 10th. As the pace car goes into the pits, here comes the green flag. Boom, there it is. Paul Brown jumps on the outside. Ron Blackwell is right behind him. You get a little bit of edge on it as Lawrence Topworth fights back on the inside, challenging 25 second position, and he does, and Ron is all over the track, so that must be a little breezy situation behind him back there. And do we have another caution? I think we do. No, we don't. Yes, we do. We have another caution. Oh my goodness. Let's see what happened here. And we will go back through the magic of gaming and see what caused all that commotion. And we will see as we go in slow-mo here this afternoon. You see him running 3 wide. Jack Martell on the outside, Val Wishart in the middle, Dave Christensen running the bottom. And you'll see Ron Blackwell drop to the bottom. That's going to put Dave Christensen run him up. He made contact with Jack Martell. It looks like they straightened everything out. So far, so good. I don't know. And then you see the 72 and the 3 make contact. Both probably going into the wall. And Val Wishart dropped down a little bit right in front of the 3 car. And the 3 car trying to apply his brakes. You see right there, he realizes what's happening. He hits his brakes and shoots up toward the bottom and backs off 101. You see Val Wishart. He's still getting it, buddy. He is doing some serious drifting right now on the inside. And he's fixing to have and just a little bit of contact with the 3 again. It's going to turn the makes contact with the 40, and he's drifting for dear life. So the Master of the Drift award goes this afternoon goes to Val Wishart as he recovers, believe it or not, from that. And then he's down in the grass, and it's all over with then. I mean, when you get in that grass going that fast, it's like glass. And you'll see the 72 car up front. Let's see what the deal with the 72 car was. You see them all sliding around here. Keep out on that 72 car. Let's see what happens here as they get a little funky, and then they bump once and they make contact the second time. And they both go into a ballerina spin. As you see the 51 hit the front end of Jack Martell, and Jack backs into the back of 72, which at that time they're just along for a ride. And there's nothing they can do about it. And Ivan Deschamps in that 19 car sees what's going on. He hits the brakes and slows down, and began to wonder if Dave Christensen is going to finish the race in reverse. But that's what happened, folks, here in caution. Things get a little squirrely here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway here on lap 98. And lap 99, Paul Brown is our race leader. The track is under caution here for a full car incident here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway. Paul Brown's your race leader. Lawrence Stopworth second here at Kansas. And we will be back after these messages. And welcome back, folks. But race fans here at Kansas Motor Speedway, as we're under caution here this afternoon at lap 100 for an earlier incident that occurred on lap 98. And the guys getting sorted out. As you see some of these guys peeling off, going to the pits. The 70 car, the 41, the 25, and the 3. All these guys peeling off, going to the pits. That's an earlier incident. Dave Christian decided to stay out on the track, as well as Ivan Deschamps. Pick up an extra 5 points for leading the lap here at Kansas. Ivan Deschamps in that 19 Dodge, and Dave Christensen in that 72 Chevrolet. You see Paul Brown and the rest of them guys coming out of the pits. Some of them just getting gas, some of them getting 2 tires, some of them getting 4 tires. Pace car makes his way around past the pit road entry, we'll find out who goes in, who stays out. That should help sort out the field here this afternoon. It's been an exciting race here this afternoon with some long green flag runs and some cautions and some bumping runs and some cautions within the caution. So just about everything you can think of in racing has happened here this afternoon, except for flips and dips. But the race ain't over with yet. The 19 car of Ivan Deschamps decides to stay out and follow the pace car. Kent Thomas in that number 40 St. Louis Cardinal sponsored Ford Mustang coming back up to the tail end of the lead lap. Steve Biddle Valvoline sponsored Ford Mustang number 51. Let's do a quick scan on this car. Oh yeah, Steve Little. Camera angles. Thank goodness for modern technology. And the reason these cars look so dark on the sides because of the indentation in the body. The lights doesn't quite illuminate the sides of the car, so that's why you'll see the driver's side, the car kind of blackened out. And then if you'll see the passenger side of the car, it's all shiny and white. You can read everything, so that's the difference of the lighting and shades here this afternoon. Even though the inside of the track has lights, along the inside wall is not strong enough to light up the inside. They're working on that problem. Getting it done here this afternoon. The cameraman is feeling funky again. You just see him get ready to go to green flag racing here this afternoon, folks. Green flag is dropped. Here we go. Ivan Deschamps leads them off here as the green flag drops. All ground right to his button. As Dave Christensen runs that high side in the 3, and they all run around and trying to make some headway to here this afternoon. 4 wide on the back stretch here, guys. Not a good thing, but they'll do what they have to do. They get every inch of that real estate they can get a hold of to make it work. And they're slicing and dicing and tipping and jibbing and everything you can think of to get where they need to go. Ivan Deschamps still leading the race here on lap 104. Paul Brown and Dave Christensen working the second, third position with Ron Blackwell fourth and Keith Chestnut fifth. Those two Cam King Chevrolets are in position, and we have another caution on the field. Yeah, let's see what caused this one. We will see. Looks like Val Woodruff's got involved in something. We don't know who, what, where, when, and how. We're fixing to find out. And Val comes up on the bottom running the apron. He's on his bottom line as he works his way up. And this car gets a little loose with him. He collects Kent Thomas. So another caution here out on the field as Val Woodruff gets his car a little loose, and that it collects the 40 car, and caution is out again at lap 104 here this afternoon. Ivan Deschamps leading the race here as they come back to the start finish line. We'll pick up the pace car in turn 1. And pick up the pace car in turn 2. So the field is now frozen. As we're under caution here at lap 105, lap 104, the incident between Val Woodruff and Kent Thomas. Ivan Deschamps, the race leader here at lap 105. Dave Christensen second, Paul Brown third, Ron Blackwell fourth, Keith Chestnut fifth, Steve Biddle sixth, Jack Martell seventh, Lawrence Toppleworth eighth, Kent Thomas ninth, and Val Woodruff 10th. You see these guys peeling off going to the pits. Keep an eye on Dave Christensen to see what kind of repairs, if necessary, made on his car, and what kind of tires he gets, and how many tires. I know he's going to get some fuel. After these guys pit this time, the ones do pit will have enough to. It looks like Dave Christensen did a drive-through. I don't know if it was something he did or what. We don't know. But that's going to put and he did. He's going to put him back in second. Kind of an odd thing because he was running fourth earlier. So they're telling the 3 car to follow Ivan Deschamps. And now the 3 car is peeling off, going to the pits. With Ivan Deschamps, Steve Biddle, Jack Martell, Kent Thomas, Val Witchers, and Dave Christensen. That's going to put Keith Chestnut back in the 4th position. It's getting a little wild here this afternoon at lap 107. For these guys who are in the pit. 7 cars in the pit this afternoon. Jack Martell takes 2 tires and fuel, and he's out. Here comes the 3 car. Puts him in the 5th position. Followed by Ivan Deschamps. Jack Martell in 4th, Lawrence Stoppelward in 3rd, Ron Blackwell in 2nd. Paul Brown is our new race leader. Is that not surprising? Paul Brown is a race leader. But Paul said his car is better on long runs. Short runs is pretty quick, but he says it gets better on long runs. So hopefully we can get this race underway here shortly and finish it up here. And Paul is coming in to get fuel, so Paul will relinquish that lead because he had just been issued a drive-through penalty. Let me double check that. Hang on. And he may not be getting that right now. He may be, yes, he's going to have to do tires. Right side tires, left side tires. So Paul Brown from Pennsylvania here goes from leading the race here in the pit stop back to 10th position. Dave Christensen winds up in 9th, Bauer 8th, Steve Biddle 7th, Kent Thomas 6th, Ivan Deschamps 5th, Chestnut 4th, Jack Martell 3rd, Lawrence Stoppelward 2nd, and Ron Blackwell is leading as the new race leader here on lap 125. I'm sorry, lap 108. Getting ahead of myself. Can you tell I want this race to be over with? I guess no worse than some of these drivers out here. Green flag is dropped. We're underway. Racing again, folks. Ron Blackwell is taking over the lead. Can he hold on to it? As Lawrence Stopworth challenging him on the bottom. Lawrence Stopworth is on the bottom and Jack Martell right behind him. So it's almost trying to occupy the same area code, but can to get the same real estate. And It's like a little bit of some contact somebody back there, but saw a little smoke going on, but evidently it got all straightened out, and these guys are running hard, and Lawrence Stopworth is taking over the lead here this afternoon. Lawrence Stopworth back out in front, Ron Blackwell second, Ivan Deschamps third, Jack Martell fourth, Steve Biddle fifth, Keith Chestnut's challenging Steve for sixth, and looks like Keith Chestnut has dropped off the track. He's been penalized for a stop and go for some reason or another, and so has Paul Brown. So we don't know what's going on there, but evidently Paul Brown and Keith Chestnut both have got a stop and go penalty for 10 seconds. That is going to this may ruin their chances of anything to finish the race with. So yeah, we don't see any action in the pits, so that's definitely a 10-second penalty on both their parts for something they've done that's going to put them a lap down, and they both head out. And Paul beats Keith out of the pits for position as they go back around the track. Well, I suspect the way this race has been running this afternoon, they'll probably get a chance to get a lap back. As you see, Ron Blackwell and Ivan Deschamps, Jack Martell, Steve Biddle, and Tom all up in the mix this afternoon. Keep an eye on, see what's going on. Looks like Steve Biddle getting a little loose back there. And Kent Thomas bumps him and backs off and scrubs the wall some. So, and you see, the 19 and the 72 getting together one another, and that's going to bring out another caution here. And you see Ivan Deschamps go down to the bottom. He got a little bump earlier with Ivan comes up from the bottom of the track. And Dave Christensen comes down on Ivan a little bit. That's going to send Ivan down below the apron. It's going to send Dave Christensen into a little bit of a slide motion. Dave recovers, and then Ivan comes up and comes right on up and hits the back quarter panel of Dave Christensen. And that's going to cause both of them to spin out. So that's going to be another caution here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway. The 19 and the 72, and you see the 40 getting into the wall to try to miss both of those guys just barely. And that's going to be another deal here where these other guys, Val Woodchus and all of them slowing down to try to get by. I don't figure out why in the world this 3 car is trying his best to catch up to the field. Got the windshield of what he sees. Caution comes out. Him and Paul never got quite caught up to the field. It may be a good thing for their part. You see one car down on the infield coming up. So maybe a good thing for that. Then 3 car jumping to the bottom inside of Dave Christensen. And caution is out on the track again, folks, here this afternoon at Kansas Speedway. As we see Lawrence Stopworth, the new race leader, still holding on his top spot here in the lap 115. And we see the pace car acting too. So we don't know. But we will pause for a station break and we'll return momentarily. Welcome back, race fans. We're here live with you at Kansas Motor Speedway. We're on lap 116. Caution is out on the field this time due to an incident on the back stretch. So we're less than 10 laps to go here. And Lawrence Stopperworth is our race leader. Ron Blackwell second. Jack Martell third, having a good run here this afternoon. Recovering from that incident. Steve Biddle fourth. Dave Christensen fifth. Kent Thomas sixth. Ivan Deschamps second, seventh. Val Woodruff eighth. Paul Brown ninth. And Keith Chestnut 10th. So I'm pretty sure that them two will switch positions after 2 to go. Everybody's had I think everybody's been involved in an incident except for the 70 car. And I think the 41 and the 70 is the only two cars that has not been involved in the incident as far as I know. Looking at the race stats here, this you see these guys peeling off going to down pit lane. Pit road speed here is 50 miles per hour, so these guys are very careful not to speed. So it's going to put Paul Brown in 6th position. Wondering if Paul will probably get the lucky dog to wave around. We don't know yet. See these cars going down to coming out of 2, going in the back stretch, around about 55 miles per hour. And Dave Christensen coming out of the pits. Val Woodruff and Ivan Deschamps working on their deals, coming up to the rest of the pack with Jack Martell. Lawrence Stopperworth here. Lap 117 still leads the race here this afternoon at Kansas Motor Speedway. As you see, the 3-car peel off and go toward the pits. That's look, everybody's running the lead lap now. Under caution here at lap 118 with 7 laps to go. And the time to clear the penalties and the cautions and everything, it should be about a 4-lap shootout. So we'll see. Anybody's guess here at Kansas. There's always some bumping and rubbing and scraping and sliding and banging and beating and carrying on one thing and then another. And it's rubbing. Somebody said rubbing. Yeah, rubbing's racing. Yeah, it is. Just don't rub too hard. But Lawrence Stopperworth in that 41 Mac 2 sponsored Chevy SS is our race leader. As we coming up on lap 119 with a little over 6 laps to go. But Lawrence Stopperworth has had the most dominant car at this track this afternoon. Very good run for Lauren. And so it's been a good run for him. And Paul Brown's had a really good car, although Paul's in the back of the pack because of a penalty. Steve Biller running second. Steve Biller right now is in a good position. If the race goes green, he can hold on. He's got a good chance to win this race. So has Ron Blackwell. I see these guys bunching up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. Val Watchers in that 101 101st sponsored Toyota Camry. Getting ready to go drop his hammer. These guys bunch up and on the back stretch here and get ready to go coming to the corners. There goes my cameraman again. And you see the pace car dive off the field. Getting ready to go back green flag racing, guys. As Lawrence Stopworth takes the outside. See Biddle on the inside. There they go. Green, green, green. Here they go. You see Lawrence Stopworth jump out there and take the lead on the outside. Steve Biddle fighting back for second position. Keep his second position on the inside. Ron Blackwell on third, dropping behind Steve Biddle a little bit. You'll see the 40 car and the 19 car running side by side. They're running 3 wide here on the back stretch. Lawrence Stopworth still leading the race. Everybody keeps doing it, and they're keeping racing clean. And Paul Brown and Val Wirtz is running pretty close with Keith Chestnut and Jack Martell, Kent Thomas. All of them running the pack up front. Oh, and you see a little problem up front, and you see the 19 and the 51 get together. And let's see, I think through the magic of being able to hit the replay, we'll see what happened here between the 19 and 51. The 19 drops down below. The 51 pops the wall, comes back in front of him, and the 19 collects him and then collects the 40. And it's on again. So with those two, the 51 takes a slide. This afternoon. The 3 car gets by him. So the 3 started off having a good day here at Kansas Motor Speedway, but after earlier incident with the 40 car, it's not turning out too good for him. But he's in there with the it's a say down south. He's hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit. But as officials say here, it ain't over till it's over. But Keith Chestnut does get the lucky dog, so he was down a lap down due to his stop and go penalty. He is able to get his lap back, so he'll be coming around on the back end of the tail end of the lead lap. Steve Biddle and Dave Christensen, Paul Brown, Val Wirtz, Jack Martell, Kent Thomas, Ivan Deschamps, Ron Blackwell, and Lawrence Stopworth all on the lead lap. Pit road is closed. As the pace car leads around the front stretch here, or what we call the front oval. Lawrence Stopworth crosses the start-finish line in the lead position in lap 123. This will probably be a 2-lap shootout, as they will go into overtime here at Kansas Motor Speedway because of the earlier incident between the 19 and the 51. This is an extraordinary race here. This is the most cautious I've seen in a right good while at this racetrack. A lot of driver error. But then again, too, if you don't push it to the envelope, you'll never get where you're going, because these are some very aggressive drivers. Uh, they take their driving seriously, and they try to gain the most positions. And they're definitely hardcore drivers. And I imagine on the next drivers' meeting that track officials and race series president will probably have to work with all of them. Well, a few of them anyhow. So, but if anybody's watched the movie Days of Thunder, old Harry Hogg, I'll tell you right quick, he didn't bump you, he didn't hit you, he didn't smack you, he rubbed you. Rubbing son is racing. Let's take a look at Paul Brown as we see the 72 and the 51 make pit stops here. Oh Lord, they've installed horns on their cars. So evidently it's a horn war between the 3 and the 70 car this afternoon. Those two characters are something else. You don't see them guys off the racetrack. They're a mess. They love their annex. Two good friends from has been racing with one another for 2 years I know of. They've grown to like one another regardless of the incidents they cause one another. And there you see the 3 give the 70 a little tap, letting you know, hey, you tighten up, old man. And then on another racetrack, it'll be the 70 bumping the 3. Same thing. We got drivers in here to range from age 38 to 70. I think 70, 72. That's why they call it the Men's Senior Racing League. Duh. Pace cars off the field, guys. Here we go. Getting ready to get it done here. See if we can get this race finished here this afternoon. Ron Blackwell works on the bottom side. Lawrence Stoppenworth's out front on the outside, taking the lead. Kent Thomas right behind him. Val Woods behind Kent Thomas. You see them all bunched up there together. Oh my goodness, there goes the 40 and the 101, bumping and banging one another. They run 3 wide in turn 3 here. And you see the 19 car, Bobby Shunk, get a little loose back there. Kit Thomas banging the wall a little bit. Lawrence Stopworth out front leading the race. And you see the 51 spin out again. And you see the 25 and the 40 get together here. The 19 and the 51. Let's see what happened here. And through the magic of gaming, we'll go back and do a rewind here. See what happened. It looks like alright, now already it'll be between the 19, looks like the 19 to 3 out in the mess right there. You'll see 19 come up and try to work on the outside, running 3 wide here. 3's on the high side of the track. The 19 comes up, drifts up and almost pinches the 3 in the wall. And the 19 cuts across in front of the 3. And that's going to put the 19 in the wall. Shoot the 3 down on the 51. But the 51 and the 3 recover. The 19 gets a little sideways. And he hits the grass and spins him around. And then another incident. It's a 40 and the 101. It's a 40 cuts across the front of the. My goodness, it's a mess, boys. Let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, the 40 gets in the back of the 25, puts the 25 in the wall. He bounces off. 40 drops down to the bottom side. The 101 drops in behind the 25. The 25 is already bounced off the wall. He hits the back end of the 40. Sends the 40 spinning in front of 70. And the 100 to 101, which the 70 misses him. And then collects the 72, 25 and the 40. That's going to send them 3 guys into the wall. And 70 of Paul Brown hitting the wall. He slides up. Tries to miss it. Paul Brown jumps on the bottom side of the apron to try to miss all that. How Val Woodford missed it, I do not know. But there's Paul coming up, as you can see. His car is already working on the loose side. Val sees it, makes his evasive action, drops down below Paul. Paul hits the wall. And but he holds on to it. Lawrence Topperworth's like, what's going on back there? And the 3 car comes through it. As you'll see, Lawrence Topperworth here this afternoon. Taking the checker flag, folks. I believe it's a checker flag. So, reporting to 25. Can't get going. So that's going to be it, folks. That's the end of the race. As we do a little magic backup here. Lawrence Topperworth is your race winner. With Val Woodford finishing 2nd. Jack Martell finishing 3rd. Paul Brown finishing 4th. Keith Chestnut finishing 5th. Dave Christensen finishing 6th. We'll have to wait and see where these other guys, because they're not through spinning around the track yet. Steve Biddle 6th. Dave 7th. Kent Thomas 8th. Ivan Deschamps 9th. Well, that won't either. We'll have a complete rundown in just a few seconds here. As we, Dave Christensen 7th, Steve Biddle 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So there you go, folks. That will be Lawrence Topperworth winning the race. Val Woodford's coming in 2nd. Jack Martell 3rd. Good run for Jack Martell this afternoon. Paul Brown had a 4th place finish. Keith Chestnut had a 5th place finish. Steve Biddle finished 6th. Dave Christensen finished 7th. Kent Thomas 8th. Ron Blackwell 9th. And Ivan Deschamps finishes 10th. And that will round out the race for you this afternoon here, folks, at Kansas Speedway. Pretty much does it for that, folks. As we appreciate you guys coming out, and you ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for all that. cautions we've had, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But we want to thank everyone for coming out and watching this exciting race this afternoon. And congratulations again to Lawrence Doppelworth, the race winner at Kansas 125 here this afternoon in Kansas with MSRL Men's Senior Racing League. This is Bill Deal with ARN Racing Network saying so long, and we'll see you next time.